Hello, a very good morning, everyone. First and foremost, thank you for joining us. For those of you who are online at the moment, thank you for joining us in our session today on Intelligently Efficient series, which is on the topic of elevating healthcare excellence through asset lifecycle management. So my name is Dean Yu. I'm the Imaging Services Growth Manager for ASEAN, Southeast Asia. So my responsibility within the company here is I oversee basically equipment growth, services growth with GE Healthcare, and focusing mainly in the services space and things relating to maintenance of equipment, as well as software and digital solutions. All right, so I'll start off the session here today with an overview of the services product portfolio for GE Healthcare, and then we'll focus a little bit more on the asset lifecycle management portion of the portfolio, right? So throughout the session, if you do have any questions, please feel free to key it into the chat box, because at the end of the session, we'll review some of these questions and go through it together. Now, the first half of the sessions will give you an overview of some of the services products. But the second half of it, we will have a special guest who will be joining us. It's a pre-recorded session from our global team. So due to the time zone difference, therefore it will be delivered through a recorded broadcast, right? So again, feel free to key in and interact with us through the chat box. All right, so I'll start off with the first topic on the agenda, which is an overview of GE Healthcare ASEAN services, right? So as you can see here, this year we've done a rebranding of services, and our tagline this year is elevating healthcare excellence. So we've looked at the services that we've been offering over the last couple of years, and we've seen progress as well as transition when it comes to medical equipment servicing and the servicing that we've been rendering to our clients and customers. And we've now classified the services that we render, or the work that we do, into 5 main key pillars, right? So I'll start off with number 1, customer experience. So this is where a lot of our clients, a lot of people are very familiar with when it comes to medical equipment servicing. These things surrounding break fix, equipment maintenance, periodic maintenance, technical support on site, as well as genuine spare parts, right? This spans across, which includes our network of distribution of spare parts, as well as our global network of technical expertise, right? That we support our customers globally. As we progress, we also have put in a significant amount of investments into our digital solutions. As the world becomes more and more connected, the equipment that we have right now are digital ready, and it's generating a significant amount of data. So we've been leveraging a lot of newer technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine data, to help us focus a lot more on proactive repairs. And as you learn as well, we'll be focusing a lot more on predictive as we go into the future. So ideally, what this means to a lot of our clients is that we'll be able to identify issues with medical equipment before they actually break down, and hopefully be able to address these issues in a scheduled manner, so that there's no unforeseen disruptions to the hospital's operations. Now, aside from digital solutions that support our customers from an operations perspective, we do have solutions within the asset performance management and also clinical performance management portfolio under the digital solutions pillar. So what I mean by these 2 subcategories here are mainly helping our clients, the solutions that help our clients maximize the usage of their assets and investments, such as medical equipment, how to better schedule patients, how to maximize the different functionalities within the equipment, and also to see how we can shorten the amount of wait time between scans and also patients to minimize the idling time, right? So really looking at all these ways to improve efficiency, productivity, and workflows. And on the other hand, there's clinical performance management on the digital solutions as well. This is where we focus a lot more on the clinical outcomes, right? So such as radiation dose reduction, and also in terms of how to deliver clinical applications training remotely, and also to provide on-demand clinical application support to a lot of our users out there. So without having to make an appointment, but be able to access our clinical experts remotely through a digital platform such as Digital Expert. Right, so a lot of exciting things that's happening within the digital space under the digital solutions portfolio of our services business. Now, the next thing here is asset lifecycle solutions. Right, so this is a space where we look at the equipment's life cycle over a period of time, right? So as the equipment ages, as new technology becomes available, we look at how we can partner with our customers to ensure that the technology that they have is up to date. The hardware that they have as the equipment ages, we address issues around end of service life, obsolescence, and technology obsolescence, and enhancements in terms of functionality and capabilities, right? And also the big technology update is one thing, but also looking at the cost of acquiring this technology, right? So how do we assist our customers in upgrading these equipment, upgrading the fleet, right? Ensuring that the fleet is on a standardized platform, right? Looking at it over a period of time. Now, this is where we'll be focusing a little bit more on today, especially in the second half of the session today, led by Richard. Now, the next thing here is the customized offerings. This is where it's really exciting for us, and we're extremely proud to share this with everybody. We've recently launched or relaunched our service contract offerings, where we've introduced a customizable structure where clients are now able to have the flexibility to piece together what's really important to them, right? What's really important to them to achieve their outcomes, right? So different customers have different needs, and the different features or coverage that we have now, it's available and can be customized into a service contract of their requirement. We do have standardized offerings, but that is full comprehensive, but we also have an a la carte menu where you can pick and choose and customize to your liking based on your business requirements at that point in time, right? And as progress your journey through the assets lifecycle, as your business grows, as your need changes, the contract can also be constantly evolving, right, to fit those needs. So it's something that we're excited about. We're hearing a lot of feedback, great feedback from our clients with regards to the option and the flexibility that's being introduced with this new offering. And of course, last but not least, it's very important as well, we continue to maintain quality and safety excellence. So it is our commitment to our clients and to our clients' patients as well, to ensure that the equipment that we use and services that we render is of the best quality and standards. Okay. So I'll move on to the next slide. So as I mentioned earlier, these are the five main pillars that revolve around GE Healthcare Services, right? And in our mission to elevating healthcare excellence. And today's session, we will be focusing on lifecycle solutions. Now, with that, I will move on to some of these offerings, right? These specific offerings that sits within the lifecycle solutions portfolio. So I'll start with the first one, as you can see on screen here, called Continuity. So Continuity is a product of ours that allows our customers to be insured, right? They're very similar to buying an insurance premium to ensure that the equipment will receive the latest updates and upgrades as and when they become available. So if you have a service contract, comprehensive service contract for, let's say, 3 to 5 years, this Continuity product can be added onto the maintenance service agreement as a subscription. So during the 3 to 5 year period, as we roll out new technologies, or as we introduce new technologies that's applicable for the asset that's under coverage, you will automatically be able to access this this upgrade or this module without any further cost, right? So it's a cost-effective way to gain access to future technology and protect against technology obsolescence. Now, the next item here is mainly upgrades and updates, and this is where we'll be focusing a lot more on in today's session, right? So upgrades and updates, it's part of our new direction where we focus a lot more on the concept of supercharged product management. So what I mean by supercharged product management is where we look at our products in the much longer term into the future, where we ensure that there's always room for continuous growth in terms of the product's capabilities, for example, our scanners capabilities, and to ensure that customers who purchase a medical equipment today can be assured that they can use this medical equipment for a long time into the future, and we can help them grow their capabilities and technical capabilities as well as clinical capabilities in the long run, right? So this ensures that there's the best value when it comes to this particular investment. So upgrades and updates includes both hardware as well as software. As we develop new technologies and we introduce new scanners or flagship products with new features or new flagship features, we'll try to bring those to our older generation of equipment through these modular upgrades. Now, the next thing here is financing. So a lot of times, one of the key challenges that clients or customers face when it comes to trying to acquire upgrades or updates in the mid-life cycle of the asset is trying to secure those funds to purchase these upgrades. So with our the modular service contract, customizable service contract offering that I mentioned earlier, there is also the Revive financing plan, which I'll share with you in a little bit more detail on how it works, that allows our customers to finance and upgrade for a particular feature and pay for it progressively over a period of time. And we'll be able to deploy and assist our customers to upgrade to this new modular platform or modular solution or feature, and the customer can pay for it over a period of time. This really helps when it comes to utilizing the OPEX and to be able to still gain access to these new features and new functions. And that significantly helps when it comes to the organization's cash flow and looking at the ability to scale, right, over a period of time. Now, aside from this equipment itself, there are other auxiliary equipment or accessories that's used in tandem with medical equipment, and a lot of these components are from our partner companies. Say, for example, like if it's with a CT scanner, that could be a UPS, power stabilizer, or it could also be an injector, right? So these are value-added accessories and consumables that we do have a comprehensive catalog that we also provide for our customers in when it comes to an overall solution, right? As you grow your practice or you grow your offerings to your clients or to your patients, these are additional add-ons that we also support our customers. And a lot of these have been trial tested and certified for use with the GE equipment. And last but not least, this is very important, which is environmental monitoring solutions. This is particularly helpful to a lot of our clients, and we've received significant amount of feedback, and we're really excited to continue supporting our customers in this particular space, especially in developing markets where power and stability is often a concern. And a lot of times, sensitive medical equipment and sensitive medical scanners, they are prone to disturbances when it comes to an unstable power supply or power quality environment. So aside from power, sometimes other issues such as temperature and humidity also affect the functionality of the machine and may a lot of times cause premature failures of certain spare parts. And we do have solutions or sensor kits that we can support our customers in monitoring these these issues and hopefully be able to isolate it, and be able to assist our customers to resolving these issues with a lot of times with the utility providers, also rectifying some of these building maintenance related issues, right? And be able to ensure that the operation of the equipment will be smooth and stable. Right. So on the right of the page here, you can see these are some of our proof points, right? A lot of it is really looking at extending the lifespan of the equipment, and also at the same time, bringing new technology to our customers and at the same time, reducing the cost of acquiring these new capabilities and technologies. Okay. So I'll move on to the next slide, and I want to spend a little bit more time on the summary in terms of upgrades and options, right? So ultimately, what we're trying to drive at for the customer here, or our clients here, is with upgrades, we're looking at patient and workflow simplicity, right? As we continuously roll out new functions and new features. And of course, more importantly, extend the lifespan of the investment. So the outcome here at the end of the day, of course, delivering high quality care, optimizing asset lifecycle, and enhancing clinical performance. Now, before I hand it over to our next speaker, I want to briefly touch base on the financing feature of our offerings, which is the Revive Maintenance Agreement. So I briefly mentioned earlier, funding for upgrades is usually a challenge, especially when the equipment is through a mid-life cycle. One way to do so, to gain access to upgrades, is through our maintenance agreement. So as you can see from the illustration here, instead of having to seek for funds, right, to purchase these upfront, we can structure the upgrades through a maintenance agreement. And as you can see from these green blocks here, the cost of the upgrade is spread over a number of years, and a customer can pay for it over in smaller installments over a period of time, right? So that gives our customer customers a lot of financial flexibility and cash flow benefits as well. And of course, again, this offering is based on terms and conditions, especially when it comes to the credit reviews that will be necessary. But this is something that a lot of our clients are very excited about, and we're also happy to partner with our clients here to drive the contract arrangement, or structure the contract arrangement. Okay, so now without further ado, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, right? Richard. So Richard is our Global Services Marketing Director, who will share with you in greater detail, right, in terms of the upgrades portfolio that we have for the products. So again, as mentioned earlier, this is a pre-recorded session because Richard is based out of the US, and due to time zone differences, we will have to do this in a recorded broadcast. All right, so I'll hand it over to Richard.
When you rely on medical equipment from GE Healthcare, we know that you have high expectations for clinical results and productivity. The service team at GE Healthcare is dedicated to the realization of your goals. Count on us for routine service, critical repairs, advanced digital solutions, and essential communication. Rely on the powerful combination of expert on-site and digital service so that your equipment is ready when you need it. Your team can focus on patient care, not working around equipment that is unavailable. When a service part is required, you can rely on the extensive GE Healthcare parts network with tens of thousands of parts in stock at strategically located warehouses. At times, there's no substitute for on-site, hands-on service. And the GE Healthcare team includes more than 8,000 highly trained local service engineers and hundreds of clinical application specialists. GE Healthcare provides digital solutions to help you with data-driven insights needed to increase equipment uptime, ensure compliance, and reduce your operating costs. Knowing how to properly use and get the most from your equipment is critical for a safe and efficient experience for everyone. That's why GE Healthcare offers a wide range of education and training solutions. from on-site to off-site, virtual or online. GE Healthcare's education and training can provide your technologists everything from the basics to the latest and most advanced techniques. We support healthcare providers who need to optimize their technology investment. GE offers more upgrades for our installed base than ever before. You take equipment lifecycle management seriously, and so do we. When you need to choose between maintaining, upgrading, relocating, retiring, or replacing your equipment, we can provide essential data about service trends and utilization. Our approach is to consider the financial, clinical, and operational alternatives and support you. Talk with us about your service needs. We want to learn from you and help you realize your goals. Our service organization never takes a day off. GE Healthcare. World-class service. Complete confidence.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for your time, energy, and attention. My name is Richard Rezik, and I'm a marketing director for GE Healthcare based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It would be nice for all of us to be together in person, and I want to be optimistic and think that we will get that opportunity next year, or if not in 2021, then in 2022. For today, I am recording this presentation on a beautiful summer day. I hope wherever you are safe and finding a way to be productive and happy. My work at GE is focused on helping the service teams around the world be successful. Service is a great business and includes a range of important values that hospitals and clinics rely on. They rely on GE service so they can accomplish their healthcare goals in a cost-effective and safe manner. Service includes planned and corrective maintenance. It includes comprehensive approaches to managing assets and ultrasound probes. And very recently, we've been reminded about the importance of clinical education. Our customers are looking for ways to get the needed training education without having someone come to visit them in person. So our online clinical education has really been enhanced lately and is very important to our customers. My time today is to share information about options and upgrades for imaging and ultrasound equipment. There will be time for questions, and the GE team includes very knowledgeable professionals who can help with additional information. Why would a healthcare provider want to upgrade their equipment? The possible advantages fit into these categories, or the categories shown. For example, if the asset was installed in 2015, it is time and perhaps even overdue to bring that asset up to the latest technology. The practice of healthcare has changed. Customers want to keep up. Patient and staff workflow has recently changed to include thorough disinfection, options that clean ultrasound probes, or new patient positioning cushions keep everyone moving and progressing to get the care they need. Healthcare budgets are under a lot of pressure. Healthcare funds are being allocated to the frontline care. Even for upgrades that are part of the diagnosis and treatment of infectious disease, money may not be available to pay for the upgrade. Revive Plus is a region business play that provides customer value now and allows the customer to pay for the upgrade with their service agreement. A truly outstanding approach. Instead of a big payment in year one, qualified hospitals and clinics can submit payments over 3 years. GE does not charge interest for this flexibility. And the upgrade provides productivity and patient outcomes right now. Revive Plus is available for CT, and MR consoles. We also offer Revive Plus for workstations, X-ray upgrades, and ultrasound and bone health upgrades. The next few slides dive into the portfolio of upgrades. This is an overview, and I'm not intending or planning to go very deep on any single of these upgrades. I will pick and choose my way through the next few slides and offer some comments and highlight some things. And I sincerely hope that you will have some questions about which of these upgrades apply to you or to your customers. I hope that you have a question and want to learn more about upgrading. We're going to start with brand new upgrades for 2020. One of the things to notice on this slide is that we have really stepped up our engineering and commercial work to accelerate the introduction of upgrades in response to business needs and in response to COVID-19 pandemic. Digital detectors for X-ray offer a cleaner, faster, and better image quality than traditional X-ray plates. Chest X-ray is part of the workflow at many hospitals for diagnosis and follow-up. Wireless for interventional, the second upgrade, keeps the procedures room clean and provides access to clinical assist programs from right inside the procedures room. This saves personal protective equipment by eliminating the need for the clinician to go in and out of the room during the procedure. Ultrasound is another modality with increased demands for productivity. See more and use ultrasound for more procedures. That seems to be what the conversations are about. And for CT, we offer a deep learning algorithm for advanced image reconstruction. Deep learning is an artificial intelligence function that imitates the workings of the human brain in processing data and creating patterns for use in decision making. For customers that have an HD 1.5T MR system from GE, we recently started offering and providing an upgrade to the current production level of software. So this means we take an old system and bring it up to the current level of software. There's a great deal of value for MR customers that choose this upgrade. They get access to the latest clinical applications and coils, and no construction in this case means that this upgrade is accomplished in minimum time and without having to remodel the facility. For fixed rad equipment, we offer a remote foot pedal option. This allows the technologist to be at the console and position the detector up or down in the wall stand. Without the remote foot pedal, the technologist would have to be in the room standing right next to the patient. That distance between patient and technologist could mean the difference between transmission of an infectious disease from the patient to the healthcare provider, and that's why this is an important consideration for fixed rad upgrades at this time. I will highlight a few of the upgrades on the next pages. First, we continue to see high levels of interest in CT console upgrades. For GE Brightspeed, VCT, and Optima, my experience over the last few years is that Acer, which is a dose reduction solution, has been and remains a strong selling point. If the console upgrade also extends the viability of the overall CT system, that drives a great deal of customer satisfaction. Customers knowing they can use their CT asset for a few more years can mean a great deal. The other thing that I've heard about for new CT consoles is to add an AW workstation from GE. This gives the flexibility for image acquisition from the CT console and image processing and imaging review from a separate workstation. We already touched on the upgrades for interventional. In addition to the wireless suite, we also offer clinical packages for neuro, vascular, heart, and oncology. The other upgrade I will spend a minute on is the X-Ray XR240 mobile upgrade. As an example, we have increased our production of mobile X-ray at one of our facilities from 20 units per week up to more than 50 per week. Correspondingly, we have also seen a big surge in demand for mobile system upgrades. If you see or hear about our internal name, Dragonfly, think mobile X-ray. There are some video testimonials provided here, and I'm going to take a risk and click the link and see if we can together hear from a customer about their experience with Optima 240 from old to new.
We're a teaching hospital and we provide services to the local community. We're 7,000 strong staff and we have 956 beds across the trust. Before the Optimas arrived with us, we had the old CR. It was very basic. So when the Optimas came on board, it was like a light was switched on. We suddenly had really high definition images, which provided us with better diagnosis for the patients. About 9 months ago, we had an unprecedented period where 3 of the rooms were down. We had to instate the Optima 240. The resultant image that we were getting was equal to what you would get in a static room. We're happy to say that the Optima is part of our disaster and emergency contingency.
It's got a very small turning circle, so if you're going to see patients who are in a small bay, in isolation, I found it's just so easy to move in and out of the small places. Detectors that we have with these mobiles are really easy to use. They're a lot friendlier for both the user and the patient. It's a lot easier to put behind patients' backs. They haven't found it to be too uncomfortable. They haven't really struggled with it, which is really important to maintain patient comfort, especially when they're not feeling well.
The small HD detector is 2430 and it fits inside the incubator, which is ideal as it reduces the magnification factor of the resultant image.
I found it so easy to just alternate between. If you're doing a pediatric patient or an extremity, it's really easy to just switch between the larger and the smaller detectors. Because of the Wi-Fi capability and the fast connectivity of your systems, it doesn't disrupt the patient experience waiting for something to connect. I found that with this mobile, it charges very quickly. You can see easily with the LED lights where the charge is, whether you're going to have enough charge to do however many patients you're going to see. And I found that if you're going to do a few mobiles, the battery stays full. It really does last quite well.
We have a very robust infection control policy, so every time we use the equipment we have to wipe it down. There's no sharp edges, there's no grooves in it. It's really easy to clean and really easy to keep it clinically clean. It only takes 15 minutes of training and they're perfectly happy to use the equipment. The work list is automatically uploaded. Once you press on the protocol that you want, say example a chest x-ray, you get lots of other options of AP, PA, pediatric, adult, big adult, small adult. Everything is pre-programmed in, so it's a delight to use.
The actual interface on the mobile itself is very user-friendly. The actual colouring of it is, it's quite like a grey, dark with the white text, which has been really nice for the users. It doesn't glare. You can see your images a lot nicer with that darker background. The image quality is like no standard of image quality I've seen before on mobiles previously, especially in resus when patients are very sick. They might be intubated. On critical care, again, patients have a lot of lines. Again, on SCBU, the images themselves from this mobile standalone have enabled us to differentiate these lines and determine their position accurately.
The HD cassettes combined with the Helix imaging reprocessing ensure that we always have the highest quality resolution image, even when you use the zoom option. For a neonatal chest in the special care baby unit, using the present generation mobile, we would reduce that MAS down to just under 1, and it is giving a significantly lower dose of about 0.2 micrograys.
I would absolutely recommend this mobile machine to any other hospital in the UK or anywhere across the world.
Okay, thank you for watching that video with me. I hope that came across okay in the recording. I will check, and I'm pretty sure that it did. I'm going to move on now to the next slide and just talk about workstations. So radiologists and other clinicians rely on the workstation experience every day for reading and diagnosing exams. That's work that's not very easy. It provides a strain on attention spans. It's a job where there are time pressures and urgency around accuracy. That's just part of the job. So streamlining this work, anything that can be done to make it easier on the eyes and improve the efficiency, specificity, and accuracy of reading at a workstation is very important. So we have some good workstation upgrades. There are 3 of them listed here. The AW server in the right corner there, that's an option for customers that have a number of workstations to switch from a workstation solution to a server and a reading station solution. Provides a lot of efficiency. We have a large install base of HDX series of MR. The magnets for these systems have been tested, and a research project's been done that shows that these magnets can last for 30 years or more, which is an amazing testament to the engineering and manufacturing that goes into those magnets. The MR Lift program is about keeping your reliable magnet, but replacing almost everything else. This provides a new 2020 MRI system for far less customer investment, less construction cost, and less transition time from old to new. We have been selling and installing MR Lift upgrades for a few years. And we have an animation. There is no audio for this animation, so I will talk to it just a little bit, but let's give this one a try too. So this shows the existing magnet and everything that comes apart from the existing magnet. Then the magnet remains there, the core part of the magnet stays there. We put all new surrounding materials around the magnet and covers and electronics around it. It brings the magnet up to the latest standards. It gives a chance for more procedures. It provides a cost savings in construction costs. And overall, the customer can spend about 50% of what they might otherwise spend. We also offer an upgrade for MR Brevo 355 and Optima 360. This is a Cigna Explorer upgrade. The Mulan Delta in parentheses there is an internal name, not really a customer-facing name, but it's not quite as extensive as an upgrade as the Lift, as I just showed with the Lift, but it is a significant upgrade in both hardware and software. It basically allows a customer that's starting with an older and possibly defeatured asset. It's possible to bring it all the way up to Cigna Explorer Generation 2 level. And that's a very big boost in clinical capabilities and operational efficiency. On that last point regarding the efficiency, that can be increased by 20 to 30%. You combine that with some energy savings, and the customers found a way to really justify upgrading from their current standard to the Explorer Gen 2 level. In the middle of the slide, it's not really very clear, but you can see some blue shading around the hardware. Again, it's not as extensive as that lift that we just looked at, but there's quite a bit of hardware that goes into this upgrade and quite a bit of software that goes in as well. The field upgrade importantly includes console and key elements of the RF system for these types of MR systems. Next, we're going to talk about ultrasound for just a minute or so. We have two new upgrades for ultrasound. These are new in 2020. For the Logic E9, we have an image quality upgrade called XD Clear, and this provides some sharpness and better border definition for cardiac imaging. That's what this upgrade is about. Again, it applies to Logic systems. And for the S8, for the Logic S8, some of the customers will be interested in a Windows 10 upgrade because that includes quite a bit of security enhancement versus the previous operating system. And for customers who are doing OB work, the HD Live element there helps to improve some of the key measurements for obstetrics practices. Either of these upgrades, the customer can select packages that help them and support their service line needs. And the last slide that I have on upgrades is just a little bit more of an expanded view of various ultrasound packages, clinical packages that are available. The productivity pack, I think, is very interesting. It's available for 3 versions of Logic, so you might want to look into that one a little bit more. And those are some other ones there. I'll just leave that there for a minute so you can take a look at that. Thank you. You're awesome. We're all making the best of a very difficult situation. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this recorded presentation. I hope it came across well. Hope you learned something. I hope that you will ask some questions in real time with the ASEAN team there that's online. Be safe and take care of yourself and your loved ones. Best wishes from me and from all of us at GE Healthcare, both in the ASEAN region and here from the United States. Thank you.
All right. So welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We hope you found the session by Richard earlier insightful, right? So Richard has shared with us in greater detail what some of these upgrades that are available for the different modalities. As you can see, it's quite a comprehensive catalog of different things, right? That addresses both not only hardware related obsolescence, but also at the same time introducing some of these new features and new technologies as we continue to progress, right? So that enhances the capability of the existing equipment, and also at the same time having the option, right, to finance with these things, these new technologies and new capabilities through a Revive plus maintenance service agreement, right? So right now we've entered the Q&A segment. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to key it in to the Q&A box, right? We do have some questions already, and I'll take the time now to go through them, right? So the first question that we have here is, what are some of the digital solutions that supports the equipment operations, right? So thank you for that question. So this particular question is more related to the digital solutions pillar. Right, so as I mentioned earlier, digital solutions, we do have various solutions. So one being software or capabilities that support the equipment's operations, followed by asset performance management and also clinical performance management. So this particular one is where software platforms that ingest machine data, right, monitors the equipment proactively, right, in the background, and we analyze this information, the machines usage logs and error logs, and hopefully be able to identify some of these outliers and be able to intervene, right, if we start seeing symptoms of a potential breakdown, and be able to hopefully, if we can resolve it remotely, we do so. If we can't, we will have an engineer or a spare part ready deployed, right, and to have that deployed to the site to address the issue proactively before the equipment actually runs into any problems and disrupts the workflow. Now, what are these solutions? If you're a GE user, you may be familiar with the term OnWatch, right? So OnWatch is one particular software platform that proactively monitors the equipment's functionality. So machines or modalities that are compatible with OnWatch are MRI machines, CT machines, as well as cath lab machines, right? So the different parameters that we look into will include, say for example, if it's an MRI machine, would be the helium levels, right? The water chillers flow, and also data, right? And also monitoring the cold head for the MRI, where we look at monitoring the cold head's duty cycle, right? So if we see anomalies, or whether there's an increase in heat or increase in temperature, and also the pressure within the chamber, right, we'll be able to intervene very quickly to avoid any potential breakdowns, right? So OnWatch is one particular proactive monitoring solution. Other digital solutions will be, say for example, like Insight, that allows our engineers or remote engineers to remotely dial into the machine to support our customers on the field, right? So a lot of times, some issues that arise in your day-to-day operations may be related to software bugs or software glitches that requires a restart, or to look into some of these error logs and to identify what are some of these minor issues that we can resolve remotely. So Insight allows us to very quickly support our customers through this channel, and hopefully be able to get the machine up and running again for you without having to wait for an engineer to come on site to troubleshoot on site. So that saves a significant amount of time for our clients and for our customers. Now, one particular one that I also want to highlight is TubeWatch, which is a new solution in the predictive space, right? So I mentioned earlier, we're transitioning from not only proactive monitoring or proactive maintenance, we're going towards hopefully a predictive future where we can predict when a particular issue may arise and be able to intervene way ahead by giving our customers a lot more lead time to, number one, manage the scheduling of patients, and also allow us to have the necessary components ready to be able to effectively resolve the issue before it even impacts, right, the clients or the customers' operations. So TubeWatch predicts when a CT tube may run into problems, or may fail, or may be exhausted, right? So we leverage machine data, we leverage an IT and artificial intelligence algorithm to mimic a tube, right? Looking at all this information on how the machine is being used, we can model a digital twin, right? So within our servers and systems, so we will know potentially when a tube requires a scheduled replacement. So those are some of the examples of the digital solutions that support our customers' equipment operations. Of course, if you do have any, I hope that gives you some idea with regards to these solutions. But if you do have any further questions, right, feel free to reach out to us. Our services sales team will be more than happy to assist to go through in greater detail, right? Now, the next question here is there is interest in financing upgrade plan. So this is regards to the Revive Plus that I briefly mentioned earlier, as well as Richard has mentioned in great detail. So basically, this is a upgrade, or an upgrade that's currently available and the customer would like to purchase this upgrade. and we allow the option of financing this upgrade with an active maintenance service agreement. So let's say you have an equipment and you sign a maintenance contract for a 3 to 5 year term, and this upgrade is currently available. We can always work with you and your team to come up with a revive contract, right? So we call it revive contract, where we restructure the contract agreement. So there's a slight top up to the maintenance agreement that includes the financing of the upgrade, right? So immediately the upgrade can be deployed to site, and we can work with your team to get it up and running with regards to the installation, the training, and the applications training. And immediately you can start using the upgrade or the upgraded system. And while the organization continues to pay for this, similar to how you pay for the maintenance agreement, right, over a period of time. Now, of course, again, I'd like to stress that this Revive Plus contract, Revive contract, will of course be subjected to its own terms and conditions, where we work with your purchasing team or your contract teams to go through in greater detail, right? So I guess the last question here is also to some extent related to the Revive contract, right? The question here says, is the Revive contract interest-free, right? So the answer is yes, right? So a lot of our clients really appreciate this, where we offer this exclusive arrangement or special arrangement to support our customers in upkeeping the machine, right? So the Revive contract upgrading over a period of time through this method is interest-free. But I again want to stress that this will be subjected to the terms and conditions or the credit reviews as well, right? When it comes to financing over a period of time. Now, contracts for Revive contracts, it needs to be between 3 years to up to a maximum of 5 years. Okay. Now, if there are any other questions, please, again, don't be shy. Please feel free to key them into the Q&A box, and be happy to address them. Now, the other thing, while we're here, I'd also like to bring your attention to the QR code that you see on screen, right? Now, Richard mentioned or showed some of these different solutions that are available within the portfolio, right? If you do have a GE equipment and you see something that might be of interest to you, and you'd like to request for a demo, right, to try out certain software capabilities, or if you'd like to inquire more, right, please feel free to scan this QR code, right? Be happy to reach out to you and to schedule something, have that conversation, and potentially set up a demo session for you and your team. So there is a direct question that's being sent to us in the panelist chat, right? So I'd like to thank you for this question earlier. Now I'll just reiterate this question that was sent to us directly. This is a question with regards to a particular equipment that is that's gone into end of service life, right? So this is probably a fairly old machine that's at least 10 years old. That's going into end of service life soon. And the question here is whether we do have upgrade plans for the Innova cath lab system, right? So thank you for that question. I think that's a great question. Now the thing is, unfortunately, not all equipment have a direct upgrade path. So there may be some older machines that you've been using in your facility or in your organization that unfortunately you do not have a readily available upgrade component. Now, how do we assist our customers in situations like this, right? As the equipment goes into end of service life. So the good news here is that we do have a solution called the LIFT program, right? So what I mean by the LIFT program and how is it different from a typical upgrade program is that a LIFT is a forklift upgrade, right? So what I mean by a forklift upgrade is basically replacing the existing machine with a brand new machine, right? So instead of just component level upgrades that we replace certain components within the machine, we basically replace the entire unit with a brand new one. How this benefits to the customer is that at the end of the day, it is a brand new system, that's of course, and there are cost savings in the form of our ability to retain some of the existing infrastructure that's already in place, right? So some of these construction work, I think Richard briefly mentioned earlier, right? In terms of the existing setup on the site, the existing furnishing, a lot of it we can still retain as part of this forklift upgrade. Of course, it's not as straightforward as a component level upgrade. And of course, it takes a little bit longer time to do a forklift upgrade, but nonetheless, it is still a possible solution to address some of these older machines that do not have a direct upgrade path, right? So again, thank you for that question. Now, there is a new question that came in. It says here, if a customer purchased the GE equipment through an appointed distributor, can the customer still approach you for any of the solutions shared earlier? Great question. The answer is absolutely yes, right? So if regardless of which channel you purchase the equipment from, be it through our distributor or channel partner or directly from GE, yes, we'll be more than happy to assist you to explore some of these upgrading capability, upgrading options, and also some of these extra functionalities that we'd like to enhance for your equipment. Of course, we will work with our partners when it comes to the actual transactions, for example, right? But the answer is yes, absolutely. All right. So if there are any other questions, we do have time for one more. All right. So if there are no questions, we'd like to end the session here today. So again, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everybody for spending the morning with us. It was a great pleasure to have you join us today. So before you go, I'd like to request that do give us feedback, or should you have any particular interest in a demo or trial on some of these solutions that we've shared earlier, right? Please feel free to reach out to us, and you can do so by scanning the QR code that you see on screen here, right? So with that, thank you very much. Really do appreciate your time. And again, from all of us here at GE, we do wish you to take care in this period, to stay safe, right? And then again, thank you very much and have a great day.